Urge surfing exercise. We are now going to do an exercise that may be particularly difficult and somewhat intense than any of the previous exercises we have engaged in. In this exercise, we're going to ask you to picture yourself in a situation that you find challenging in the present moment, one in which you feel triggered in some way. Maybe a situation in which you may be tempted to use alcohol or drugs, or engage in another behavior that has been problematic for you. Please take care of yourself by choosing something that is challenging but not overwhelming. As you picture this, you are going to be asked to imagine that you do not engage in the reactive behavior. Whether it is substance use, getting into an argument or fight, or whatever it may be for you. We encourage you to stay with whatever comes up as best as you can with the sense of gentleness and curiosity. If the situation you pick feels overwhelming or like something you do not want to do or are not ready to do, we encourage you to respect that limit. You might imagine a less intense situation in which you react in a way that feels automatic or out of control. For instance, you might call to mind a relationship or situation where you might react with anger or in a way that is hurtful to you or another person. Do you have a situation in mind? If at any point this becomes overwhelming, you can always open your eyes, maybe move your body a little bit around to reground to the present moment. Now I'm going to ask you, if it's comfortable, to close your eyes again. You may also leave them open if you choose, maintaining a soft focus a few feet in front of you, letting your eyes just rest there throughout the exercise. Begin by just feeling your body here in the chair, noticing sensations, letting the breath flow easily in and out. Now bringing this scenario that you've chosen to mind, a situation that might or has in the past caused cravings or urge to act in a reactive manner, in a way that is not in line with how you want to live your life. Maybe you are with certain people or in a certain location. Maybe it's something that has happened to you in the past and you can recall, or a situation that you imagine would be challenging for you. Remember that in this scenario, you are going to make a choice to not engage or use a problematic behavior in a reactive way, even if the situation triggers you. Now taking a few moments to really picture yourself in that place or situation with that person. Imagining the events or situation that led up to this reactivity, and bringing yourself right to the point where you feel triggered, as though you might behave reactively. And we're just going to pause here for a moment. We often tend to either fall into craving or fight to resist it. Here, we are going to explore our experience a little, finding a balance, with just staying with and observing the experience without automatically reacting. So you might begin to notice any emotions that are arising, noticing what thoughts might be going through your mind, what physical sensations you are experiencing in this situation. What does this feel like in your body? Noticing too, what is it about this experience that feels intolerable? Can you stay with it and be gentle with yourself? If you begin to feel overwhelmed at any point, you can always back off a bit by allowing your eyes to open or letting your attention come back to observing your breathing. Remember that we are practicing staying with the experience in a kind, curious way. We are making the choice to not act on any urge or cravings that are arising. Just staying with them and observing, as best as you can, what is happening in your mind and your body. What a craving or an urge feels like. As best as you're able, see if you can feel what's here without tightening around it or resisting it. Feeling what it's like to not engage in the behavior. Discovering what happens when you stay with this experience and explore it a little. What is it you are truly needing? Perhaps there is a longing for something. Or perhaps there is a fear, anger, or loneliness. Maybe relief or freedom. What is it you really need right now? Just staying with this discomfort and unfamiliarity. Observing with a very gentle curiosity. If a craving or urge becomes increasingly intense, you might imagine it like an ocean wave. Imagine that you are riding that wave, using your breath as a surfboard to stay steady. Your job is to ride the wave of desire from its beginning as it grows, staying right with it through the peak of its intensity, keeping your balance while the wave rises and staying on top of it until naturally it begins to subside. You are riding this wave rather than succumbing to the urge and being wiped out by it. Just watching the pattern as the urge and cravings arise and then fall. And trusting that without any action on your part, all the waves of desire, like the waves on the ocean, arise and fall, and eventually fade away. Noticing now how you can simply stay present with this wave instead of immediately reacting to it. Accepting the craving and staying with it without giving in to the urge. Now taking the time you need, gently letting go of the scenario you've imagined, and slowly blinking your mind and your attention back into the room. Taking a deep breath if you'd like to. Maybe moving the body a little, if that feels right. And offering yourself some gratitude for being able to respond to a difficult sensation or thought or urge in a new way.